I was just running the numbers, and what if we focused on quality instead of quantity? What's going on, movie fans? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness. Anyways, though, went to Netflix again. It's Friday, the weekend. We get new things on that platform, and I watched the new action thriller that it has to offer, Earth and Blood. A sawmill owner and his teenage daughter become tangled in a deadly feud when a drug dealer stashes stolen cocaine on his remote property. So is this new action thriller a must-see and hidden gem on the platform? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of Earth and Blood, if you've already seen this film or now very much looking forward to it. Now let's get into some of the good. So aside from the stigma of Netflix not really putting out too much quality, I was pleasantly surprised by Earth and Blood. Again, it is a quick movie. It is about 80 minutes, a very short runtime, so this flies by. But what they do in this movie with the quick 80-minute runtime is very much appreciated. Again, an action thriller, it sets up with this very tense moment, and then you are literally off to the races for the rest of the movie. And just the story, I think the very short, contained, almost action-packed and brutal story is what really brought me on board and kept me engaged throughout this Earth and Blood movie. Again, I think in my quick Twitter review, I mentioned that this is almost like Home Alone meets Rambo Last Blood, but like the better version of Rambo Last Blood. Like, this is a man on a mission being brutal. There's not as many traps, but it very much has the essence of the Rambo type movie. So if you're into anything that I just said about that, an action thriller, the story very much is on board. And I like how it's a broken man on his last limb, and he's just trying to protect what he loves. Again, very reminiscent of that Rambo Last Blood type movie. So the story I am on board for because it moves, it stays on track, and it is engaging. But then aside from that, the cinematography, this takes place mainly in the forest area and a sawmill in Belgium, I believe, and just the cinematography of very close-up shots of characters, but almost the atmosphere and bringing in the beauty of the sawmill and these saws that aren't moving and the machinery and the forest and cutting trees down. I don't know, it almost hit on this weird level of natural beauty and secluded and isolated just atmosphere, I guess, and almost the story combined with the atmosphere reminded me of a level of The Last of Us. I mean, an abandoned, almost rundown sawmill. So I love that. But then the final little cherry on top of everything is the score. The score in this film is very dreadful, and it drives the feeling, the intensity, the action of this movie, and it is just drowning. It's like boom, boom. I'm doing it no justice at all, but it adds again perfectly to what I've already mentioned of this film. Oh, and one last thing, his daughter in the movie is deaf, and they do something very interesting, very cool in the film, dealing with deaf people, what they might hear, and completely dropping the sound out of certain things. So I thought that was, again, another plus and very much appreciated. As for the negatives, I just have a tiny little thing. With the runtime of 80 minutes, this movie is moving. But I will say that there is this little tiny subplot of, or other side of the story rather, of the daughter and this kid, and obviously it plays in with the total part of the film, but I very much didn't want them to focus on, or the story to focus on them. I wanted to go back to Saeed, the main character, and him kicking ass against these bad guys, essentially. Overall, Earth and Blood is a Netflix find action thriller that is, I was so pleased by this movie. With it featuring this main character and story and everything that's so engaging, cinematography that's beautiful, tense score, and some cool aspects, but maybe with a little bit of the story that doesn't keep you engaged as much as you want, I would highly recommend checking out Earth and Blood. Again, action thriller, Netflix. Netflix isn't known for having great quality, but this is one of those movies you need to check out. 80-minute runtime. It is quick. I will say that it's subtitled and dubbed, but aside from that, this is a must-see. In closing, I'm going to give Earth and Blood 4.5 out of 5 Netflix gems. So what did you guys think of Earth and Blood? If you've already seen this movie, or now this is skyrocketing to your must-watch list, I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there or right over there. You know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. I don't know what's coming up. JBuck Live on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Tune in for that. Follow all of my social media. Like this video. Subscribe to the JBuck Studios channel. And until next time, I'll see you later.